I never thought I'd be the man saying this out loud. But my wife cheated on me, and the worst part wasn't the affair. It was the silence. For 12 years, I believed I knew her. We built our life's slowly small apartment, mismatched furniture, late-night talks about the future. I worked long hours, not because I loved my job, but because I loved the idea of coming home to her. She used to wait up, even when she was tired. That stopped long before I noticed that the change didn't arrive with drama. It came quietly. She stopped asking how my day was, stopped sharing hers. Her phone became something she guarded, always face down, always within reach. When I asked who she was texting, she smiled too quickly and said, "Just work stuff." I wanted to believe her. I needed to believe her. Love makes you generous with excuses. I told myself marriages go through phases. I told myself distance was normal. What I didn't tell myself was that loneliness can exist even when you sleep next to someone every night. The night everything broke was ordinary. That's what haunts me. She said she was meeting friends after work. I reheated leftovers alone. Sat on the couch and waited. Midnight passed. Then 1. I texted her, no reply. I called straight to voicemail. I didn't panic. I trusted her. That trust feels foolish now, but at the time, it felt like loyalty. She came home at 2:17 a.m. She smelled different. Not perfume, something warmer, unfamiliar. She wouldn't meet my eyes. When I asked if she was okay, she said she was tired and went straight to the shower. I sat there listening to the water run, feeling something heavy settle in my chest. That night I didn't sleep. A week later, the truth found me without trying. Her laptop was open on the dining table. I wasn't snooping. Out. I was looking for a recipe she'd bookmarked. A message notification popped up on the screen, her name, followed by a heart emoji from someone I didn't recognize. I stared at it longer than I should have. Then I clicked. I wish I could say there was rage, or yelling, or tears. But there was just this cold clarity, like everything suddenly made sense. The late nights, the distance, the way she'd already left the marriage emotionally while I was still showing up every day. The messages weren't graphic. They didn't need to be. They were intimate in a way that hurt more than anything physical ever could. Inside jokes, future plans, words she hadn't used with me in years. I closed the laptop and sat in silence for a long time. When she came home that evening, I didn't confront her immediately. I watched her move around the kitchen, humming softly, like nothing in the world was wrong. That's when I realized something important. She wasn't confused. She wasn't trapped. She had made a choice. When I finally spoke, my voice surprised me. It was calm, steady. "Who is he?" She froze. There it was, the moment she knew the truth was over. She cried. She apologized. She said it just happened. She said she felt lonely. She said she never meant to hurt me. Every sentence began with "I," and not once did she ask how I felt. That told me everything. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I didn't try to compete with a man who didn't matter anymore. I simply listened because I needed to be sure. Of one thing, she wasn't sorry she cheated. She was sorry she got caught. That night, I slept in the guest room. Not out of anger, but clarity. I understood then that the marriage I was fighting for existed only in my memory. Over the next few weeks, something unexpected happened. I stopped chasing closure from her and started giving it to myself. I focused on work, on my health, on rebuilding the parts of me I'd neglected while trying to save a relationship that didn't want to be saved. I stopped asking questions I didn't need answers to. The man she cheated with faded quickly, but I didn't. The day I asked for separation, she looked shocked. Like she assumed I'd wait forever, like my forgiveness was guaranteed. It wasn't. I walked away quietly. No public drama, no revenge, just dignity. And here's the truth. No one tells you about being cheated on. It doesn't destroy you. Staying where you're not respected does. She lost someone who loved her completely. I lost someone who didn't. and only one of those losses still hurts. I thought walking away would be the hardest part. I was wrong. The hardest part came weeks later. When the noise finally stopped, no arguments, no explanations, no late-night phone. Vibrations and I was left alone with the quiet, not the peaceful kind, the kind that forces you to replay everything you ignored. I moved into a small furnished apartment across town. White walls, cheap couch, a bed that felt too big for one person. The first night there, I lay awake staring at the ceiling, realizing something terrifying and freeing at the same time. No one was lying to me anymore. She texted often in the beginning. Long messages, apologies, memories. We were good once, she wrote. Don't throw us away. I never replied immediately. Not because I wanted to punish her, because I was finally learning to pause before betraying myself again. One night, she showed up unannounced. She stood in the doorway like a stranger wearing my wife's face. Same voice, same eyes. But something. Was missing respect? Maybe. Or sincerity. She cried again. Told me the affair was over. Told me she chose me. That's when I understood the difference between being chosen and being settled for. You didn't choose me, I said quietly. You chose yourself. When that didn't work out, you came back. She didn't argue. Silence can be a confession. She asked if there was any chance left. Just a small one. It's just enough hope to hold on to. I looked at her and felt nothing. No anger, no love, clarity. I loved you when you didn't protect us, I said. I won't hate you for it. But I won't live inside a question mark either. She left without another word. The divorce was simple on paper and brutal emotionally. Signing those documents felt like closing a chapter I never wanted to read to the end. But with every signature, I felt lighter, like I was finally choosing myself, the way I had always chosen her. Months passed. I changed my routine. Started going to the gym early mornings. Cooked meals instead of eating whatever was fastest. Reconnected with friends I'd slowly disappeared from while trying to keep my marriage alive. They didn't say I told you so. They just listened. That mattered more than advice. One evening, I ran into her at a grocery store. She looked thinner, tired. We exchanged polite smiles the kind strangers give each other. When we said goodbye, there was no ache in my chest. That's when I knew I had healed. Not because it didn't hurt anymore, but because it no longer defined me. People ask if I'd ever trust again. Yes, but differently. I learned that love isn't proven by how much pain you tolerate. It's proven by how much honesty exists when things get uncomfortable. I learned that loyalty isn't about staying. It's about choosing each other when no one is watching. And I learned something else. 2, being cheated on didn't make me weak. Staying silent about it would have so, if you're listening to this. And living inside doubt, waiting for someone to choose you the way you deserve, hear this clearly. Love should not feel like abandonment with occasional affection. Walking away isn't failure. Sometimes it's the bravest form of self-respect you'll ever show.